We all know how crazy a heated eBay auction can get. Now, think of the biggest online bidding war you can imagine. What else? Classic cars. My next guest is the chairman and CEO of Barrett-Jackson, the world's greatest collector car auctions. He is a pioneer in the world of online bidding, and based on projections, this year is looking to be the biggest Barrett-Jackson auction yet. Let's give a warm welcome to the Kim Komando Show, and thanks for joining us, Craig. So tell us, what are some of the greatest cars that Barrett-Jackson is selling this year?
Well, it's hard to pick between them, but the one that's behind me will be history when we sell the first mid-engine Corvette on Saturday, the 18th. And that will make history. But we have a great lineup. We have Paul Walker's cars that are going to be sold for his family, as consign the cars, his daughter, for the estate. And it's a great collection of lightweight BMWs. One of the cars that was in the Fast Five, his daily drivers. He was a real car guy, and it is his entire collection is selling at no reserve.
Wow. So that mid-engine Corvette, you know, everybody's super excited about it. What do you think it might go for?
It's hard to say. We sold the last front-engine Corvette at our Connecticut auction, and it brought $2.7 million. The end of an era. What does VIN1, the next generation, bring? The first C8. That'll be interesting. Who lines up for it? Who wants it? It all goes to charity. So you get the tax write-off and you get a piece of history.
So you have how many cars this year?
1,950. It is a new record for Barrett-Jackson, the largest consignment, no reserve auction in history. 1,950 cars at no reserve.
Boy, that's crazy. And so how many square feet do you need for 1,950 cars?
Well, the entire auction area inside the fence is 74 acres. Under roof, we have over 1,100,000 square feet, 2 Guinness Book of World Records for the tents that we put up. And the entire site is just at its limits. We took what, for people that live here know, the Equidome, which is a horse arena, and carpeted the entire thing to make it the primetime showcase, because we have so many great cars. Friday this year is going to seem like Saturday normally, and Saturday the 18th is unbelievable, the lineup that is coming.
So take us back in history a little bit. How does the auction compare now to those beginning stages of when Barrett-Jackson was just getting started?
Well, when it was first getting started, it started as a car show for charity. That's why charity has been such a part of Barrett-Jackson. It evolved into an auction when my dad and Tom Barrett was selling his collection. And it was about 80 cars between the two families, about 120 cars. And it was primarily pre-war classics. So how the auction has changed, one, in size. It is not just an auction, it's an automotive lifestyle event. You have all the major car manufacturers here doing displays, 4 manufacturers out on the ride and drives. It's a very interactive show, 300 different vendors selling everything automotive and lifestyle. It kicks off with a party that's about 6,000-7,000 people with live entertainment. And it is really a automotive festival. And one thing this year is we're going late into the evening, so it's really going to be an all-out party this year. And it really reminds me of what the tempo was like in about '07. You just feel that energy, the way the bidders are coming in, the cars are coming in, the economy's at an all-time high. But the mix of cars has changed. And now we're selling more resto mods. We're selling more 80s cars because now the X-Geners and the millennials are starting to buy. And the average age of our buyer over the past 5 years has dropped 10 years in age. So you got to change the mix of cars. And I think the Paul Walker collection is an excellent example of that.
You know, what always strikes me when I'm walking around the Barrett-Jackson car auction is the number of people that I see with generations. Like you'll see a grandfather with a son or daughter. I mean, that really speaks to the longevity of the Barrett-Jackson car auction, and really it becomes a family event.
It absolutely does, and we make the tickets very affordable because we love having families come and share the passion of car collecting. And what you said is so true. I'll be walking around the site and I'll have a family, a grandfather, a father, and a son. And grandfather pull me aside and he goes, "It's the only thing I can talk to my grandson about is cars. I don't get his video games and all this stuff. But when we come here, we talk the same language."
Which is just fabulous, because sometimes it's so hard to talk and break through those generations. Now, let's talk a little bit about online bidding. Because for people who are watching, especially here on Bloomberg, around the globe, they can now bid online on some of these cars, and that they see. What type of infrastructure did that take?
Well, for the long time, so when we first, you talked about we were early pioneers. We launched our website 94. By 95, we had written a Java app to do online bidding. Now we use companies to help us with this, because you need really the whole dark fiber, the back end, to make it lightning fast. We use a company that helps us do that. But you can go to our website and register and do everything at barrett-jackson.com. And the best thing to do is do it early in the day, so that you can get into the lineup of cars. And if you want a phone bid, you can also do that with us. No matter where you are in the world, if you get a hold of us, we can make your dream come true.
Now, a couple of years ago, you were kind enough to show me the back end of everything that was going on with Barrett-Jackson, and just impressed the heck out of me, because, the one thing I will tell you is all the cables. I was like, oh my gosh, but everything's all organized. But you just threw out a term that I'd like you to define for our audience. And I know what it is, but I want you to explain it. Dark fiber. What is dark fiber?
So that's when a company has taken a chunk of fiber and tied it to the different nodes where the server farms are, so that the only thing that could really slow us down is that last mile. Now, we have worked with the city of Scottsdale to bring a lot of dedicated fiber into here. So typically, if there's a slow point, it's usually on the other end. Rather than having to go through public ISPs jumping, which slows down, we want millisecond response. I have some guys that'll be watching on TV, and I go, "You can't watch on TV. It's got to go up to the satellite 22,000 miles, back down again, put the commercials in, back up again, and back down." And you could be talking about a 10 to 12 second delay. When you're bidding with us online, it is almost instantaneously, and that's because of the dark fiber.
Which is just amazing to me. It's phenomenal that you were able to pull all that together and to make it happen. What was the biggest challenge in making that happen?
Getting the last mile to here to Westworld. So when we first moved out here, it only had copper. So we were bonding copper together to get bandwidth and working with the city of Scottsdale. On the same time, we're all fighting for the bandwidth. So television is here. We bring in portable cellular towers. Everybody wants to Facebook Live, share photos, use the app, download pictures. So every time you up it, you say, okay, we're bringing in this many gigs of bandwidth. We can never outgrow it. But then file sizes get bigger. More people start using it. So we have to take, and when we set up our VPN, we set up certain dedicated tranches so that we do not slow down the bidding or the way that we all have to communicate.
Which is just amazing. What do you think is next for Barrett-Jackson?
I think you're going to see more and more globalization, especially with the internet. It is instantaneous. We have a lot of clients in the Middle East, some that come, some that have representatives, and they will actually be buying from there and keeping it so that they can communicate with us in real time is very important. And as the internet, we were early adopters. We want to keep evolving. But at the same time, it's really how you represent the cars and how you position so that somebody that hasn't seen it has confidence. And that's been years of us building our inspection system and how we quantify the cars and now putting that online.
Just one final question. What do you think about all the self-driving cars?
I think, especially being a resident here of Arizona, it's still a ways off. I like some of the technology. The adaptive cruise control is great. I guess I'm still a little old-fashioned. I don't see myself reading the newspaper going down the freeway and relying 100% on technology yet. Now, I fly in airplanes that are on autopilot all the time, but we still land them manually.
Well, you know what? That says it right there, Craig. It certainly does. Hey, we appreciate you coming on the show and giving us a behind-the-scenes look into this landmark series of auctions. And if you've never been to a Barrett-Jackson car auction, you're totally missing out. They take place in Scottsdale, Arizona, Palm Beach, Florida, Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, and Las Vegas, Nevada. And don't forget, you can view the cars, you can bid online from anywhere around the world. Hey, thanks for watching. Now, a few things. Don't forget to click the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for more digital know-how, check out all these other great links.